it's hard to see now how the Justice Department, the FBI, doesn't want to interview Secretary Clinton. And that interview alone, short of an indictment, short of anything else, that would be a huge political development. It would undermine confidence in some Democrats in the notion of going forward with Secretary Clinton. And the last thing is, there are some people in the White House who are starting to talk about this. It's not clear to me whether they know what's happening or there's just their intuition, but the body language among some Obama administration officials is this is more serious and something's going to happen.
All right, that's Mark Halpern, no conservative he. And we welcome in the Malzberg panel David Goodfriend, Democratic strategist, former Deputy Staff Secretary to President Bill Clinton, and Jim Hoft, founder of thegatewaypundit.com, conservative blogger and investigative reporter. And welcome to both of you. And David, let me start with that remark by Mark Halpern, and also a story that is currently linked atop the gatewaypundit.com, and that is that the former House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa says the FBI director, as we speak, would like to indict Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin, but they're making him do it triply effective and get triple the evidence and triple the certainty of what would normally be considered a slam dunk case.
Well, I think it's a very well thought out and clever win either way strategy, and I commend Mr. Issa for it, as well as Tom DeLay, the former House leader. Listen,
said that on my show, by the way.
Yeah. And I congratulate you for the scoop. Here's the only problem. Wishing it does not make it so. I think what we're seeing here is an attempt that in the event there is no indictments, the people like Issa can say, aha! There's a cover-up. They want to do it. They told me they want to do it, and they're being stopped from doing it. Well, sorry, Mr. Issa. Until somebody says that themselves, we're not going to take your word for it. Let's hear the director say that. Let's hear somebody at the FBI say that. Let's hear somebody at the White House say that. Let's hear somebody anywhere in the Department of Justice say that.
All right.
The fact that these Republican hacks want to make it a story does not make it a story.
All right, Jim, and the Democratic hacks continue not to cite, and I'm talking about in the media, when they say the name Hillary Clinton, they don't say who is under FBI investigation, the way I believe they would do it every single time they uttered the word Donald Trump if he were under FBI investigation for his past dealings.
Absolutely. And I love what Mark Halpern said, too. He said that if she is indicted, some Democrats would have a problem with that. Just some Democrats, not all Democrats. I mean, what is it going to take for these Democrats to move away from Hillary Clinton? I mean, if she gets indicted by the FBI, that's not enough?
Well, we'll see. And of course, the Justice Department would have to, I think, hand down the indictment, and it could get very interesting. But let's move on. I'm interested, David, in your take on a story today where Robbie Mook, who I'm sure you're familiar with, Hillary's manager, said if Donald Trump takes the Republican nomination, our party will lose more than the presidency. He wrote that in an email to supporters. So they're either pretending or actually meaning, you tell me, that if Trump's the nominee, they're finished?
No. I think what he's saying is get off your duff and help the campaign, because if you don't, we'll have Donald Trump as president. It's an excellent motivational message to Democrats, both in the early primary states and nationwide and in general. If there's a general election that pits Donald Trump against Hillary Clinton, you'll have more voter turnout, I think, than in any election in American history. And that's not a bad thing for Democrats. We win with high turnout. We lose when there's low turnout, and the usual voters who tend to be, in midterms at least, older and more conservative, vote against us. I think it's a great way to get our voters out. Donald Trump would be the single biggest, this is my theory, Donald Trump would be the single biggest Democratic voter turnout engine in history.
But then why is Robbie Mook saying the opposite? I don't understand that.
Well, I've not seen the email you've described. I believe what he's saying is you, the Democratic voter, the Democratic activist, the Democratic contributor, you need to do something to make sure that guy's not president.
All right,
I think that is an effective tool for motivating Democrats. I really do.
All right, let's move on to both of you. Let's start with Jim. Jim, Bill Clinton's approval rating in the latest CBS New York Times poll is down to 39%. It was 66 4 years ago when he was campaigning for Hillary at the same time. Is this the women issue and the education of the uninitiated?
I think you can thank Donald Trump for that, for bringing this issue to the forefront, and I believe that that's all Donald Trump. He finally made the media confront Bill Clinton on his disgraceful acts with women in the past. And by the way, I agree with your last guest. Trump will be he'll be great for Democrats. He'll get a lot to the polls, but one of the latest polls says that 20% of those Democrats
Right, go to Trump.
are going to vote
All right,
for Trump.
David, what about it? What about the Clinton number?
It fits with a pattern that whenever Bill Clinton jumps into the fray of a political race, his favorability goes down. And you saw that, for example, in the primary against Barack Obama. It
was 60% plus 4 years ago. Now it's 39.
And then in the South Carolina primary, it went down to below 50%. And then he came back up.
All right.
From
So
2014
you say
to
no
60.
big deal. All right.
Well, I would say
I got to go. David Goodfriend, Jim Hoft, thank you both. Give me fives next. Guys, have a good weekend.